that is emotions, and finally, running simulations into the future. Intelligence. And yet our brain only consumes about 20-30 watts of power, and yet it performs calculations better than any large supercomputer. So it's a mystery. How is the brain wired up? And if we can figure that out, what can we do with it to enhance our mental capabilities? When you look at the brain and all the parts of the brain, they don't seem to make any sense at all. The visual part of the brain is way in the back, for example. Why is the brain constructed the
Holistic health. Herbal medicine. The health benefits of horny goat weed. The herb that is often called a natural Viagra. By Kathy Wong. Updated on July 17, 2019. Medically reviewed by Richard N. Fogros, MD. Health benefits. Possible side effects. Dosage and preparation. What to look for. Horny goat weed is a plant used in traditional Chinese medicine that may have as many users as it does people who snicker at its name. Known as Yin Yen Ho to the Chinese, as Dam Dung Ho to the Vietnamese, and Epimedium to botanists, the flowering plant is believed to stimulate male and female hormones to improve sexual function and arousal. Health benefits. The purported health and sexual benefits of horny goat weed date back thousands of years. According to folklore, the plant's aphrodisiac qualities were discovered when a Chinese goat herd noticed increased sexual activity among his flock after they ate the plant. Horny goat weed contains chemical compounds known as phytoestrogens, which some suggest can influence both hormonal and bone health. People who attest to the power of horny goat weed's benefits use it as a complementary therapy to treat a number of health conditions, both common and serious. Point one among them. Erectile dysfunction. Low libido. Osteoarthritis. Osteoporosis. Joint pain. Bronchitis. Heart disease. High blood pressure. Horny goat weed is also thought to improve circulation by thinning the blood. Point two, it may also help symptoms of premenstrual syndrome, PMS, sharpen the memory, and boost energy. Studies into the benefits of horny goat weed have been fairly limited. Those published are primarily in vitro studies, conducted in test tubes, or animal studies, which are only suggestive of what might happen in humans. Among the two conditions most studied in this regard are erectile dysfunction and bone disorders. Erectile dysfunction. Many people refer to horny goat weed as the natural Viagra. Despite the lack of quality research, there is some evidence that horny goat weed may help men with certain types of sexual dysfunction. Horny goat weed contains a substance called icariin, which blocks a protein associated with erectile dysfunction known as phosphodiesterase type 5. PDE5. 3. Under normal circumstances, the body naturally suppresses PDE5 levels. In many men with erectile dysfunction, this doesn't happen. Scientists have found that icariin functions in much the same way as Viagra, sildenafil, by suppressing PDE5 activity. However, the action was seen to be weak even in the test tube. When compared to icariin, Viagra was as much as 80 times more potent. That's not to say to horny goat weed won't improve a man's ability to attain an erection. Beyond an obvious placebo effect, the supplement may help stimulate blood flow enough to trigger a positive response in men with mild to moderate erectile dysfunction. Bone health. Phytoestrogens are plant-based estrogens found in horny goat weed and other plants. Because they have the ability to mimic estrogen, some people believe that phytoestrogens benefit postmenopausal women experiencing bone loss as a result of low estrogen levels. Scientists backed by a research grant from the Shanghai Municipal Health Bureau and the Hong Kong Competitive Earmarked Research Grant tested the hypothesis by treating 85 late postmenopausal women with either a placebo or a phytoestrogen supplement extracted from horny goat weed. 4. In addition, the participants were each given 300 milligrams of calcium per day. After 2 years of treatment, the researchers reported that horny goat weed extract appeared to help prevent bone loss. Bone turnover markers, the measure of how well bone is being remodeled, were significantly better in the phytoestrogen group compared to the placebo group. Moreover, horny goat weed was not associated with many of the adverse effects seen in women on oral estrogen, including endometrial hyperplasia, irregular thickening of the uterine wall. Additionally, icariin, the same substance used to treat erectile dysfunction, may help reduce cartilage degradation in people with osteoarthritis. Animal studies have suggested the suppression of PDE5 can better help retain the collagen matrix found in cartilage. While the substance doesn't reverse the damage, it may help slow the progression of arthritis and allow people to maintain their mobility. Dosage and preparation. Horny goat weed can be found in many drug and health food stores, and is available in a capsule, powder, tablet, or tea form. Some practitioners believe that an appropriate dose is considered to be about 5 grams per day. However, there is not enough evidence to define an exact appropriate dose. What to look for? Since there are different variations of horny goat weed and not all of them are considered safe for all users, it is important to speak with your healthcare provider before taking this herbal supplement. Your dose and/or your safe use of the supplement may depend on several factors including your age, gender, and medical conditions. If you do choose to take the supplement, the National Institutes of Health, NIH, recommends that you look for a supplement facts label on the product that you buy. This label will contain vital information including the amount of active ingredients per serving and other added ingredients that may affect your health. Lastly, the organization suggests that you look for a product that contains a seal of approval from a third-party organization that provides quality testing. These organizations include US Pharmacopeia, ConsumerLab.com, and NSF International. A seal of approval from one of these organizations does not guarantee the product's safety or effectiveness, but it does provide assurance that the product was properly manufactured, contains the ingredients listed on the label, and does not contain harmful levels of contaminants. Insufficient evidence for its main claimed benefits. Many benefits have not been clinically investigated. Not all supplements contain enough of its active compounds. Can interact with medications. Long-term effects are unknown. Components. So far, scientists have isolated more than 250 compounds from horny goat weed. Some of these include 4, 3 plus, 5. Icariin, the prenylated glycoside flavonoid known as the active ingredient, and other flavonoids, i.e. quercetin, epimedin A, B, and C. Total flavonoids, especially icariin, are its defined quality indicators in the Chinese Pharmacopeia. Icariin derivatives, such as icaritin, icaricide IN2. Polysaccharides, complex carbohydrates with anti-cancer, antioxidant, and immune-boosting effects. Magnofluorine, an alkaloid with antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer properties. Mechanism. Similar to Viagra or Cialis, horny goat weed mainly works by increasing blood flow to the genitals, which can increase arousal. Its active component icariin does this by inhibiting phosphodiesterase 5, PDE5, an enzyme that restricts blood flow throughout the body, including the penis. This results in an inflow of blood to the penis, leading to an erection.
Way it is. It's just nothing but an accident of evolution. Well, one way to look at it is through evolution. That is, the back of the brain is the so-called reptilian brain, the most ancient, primitive part of the brain that governs balance, territoriality, mating. And so the very back of the brain is also the kind of brain that you find in reptiles. Now, when I was a child, I would go to the science museum and look at the snakes sometimes, and they would stare back at me. And I would wonder, what are they thinking about? Well, I think now I know. What they're thinking about was, is this person lunch? Then we have the center part of the brain going forward, and that's the so-called monkey brain, the mammalian brain. The brain of...
Here is some video of him talking about life expectancy, and I want your input on this.
People say you take all these supplements and other pills, that's going to enable you to live hundreds of years, and the answer is no. That's just to get to Bridge 2, and Bridge 2 is not far away. According to my models, 10 to 15 years from now, we'll be adding more than a year every year to your remaining life expectancy.
Put Ray Kurzweil in the context, and he has a plan for himself, I think. How many pills do you take a day?
I think he takes several hundred. I talked to him once. It's a considerable number. He also talks about two